Thank you. Okay. I know people are coming, and it's fine. They'll come in at the perfect time. Um, so this may be a little different than what you have experienced thus far, but it's an honor to witness all of you, and it's an honor to hold space for all of you. I'm going to introduce myself, and then I will do the things that I do, and then I will talk, and then we will do things. I want this to feel like an opportunity to let go, and I want this to feel like an opportunity to reclaim parts of yourself that you didn't know were missing. So, my introduction. I am Tanisha Yorick Allen. I am also Asha Yomi. That's what the ASA is pronounced. It's pronounced Asha, which means this tradition saves me. I am a transformation mentor. I am a guide. I am a strategist, and I'm a spiritualist. I am clairvoyant and a bunch of other different things. So I hear spirits, see them, all the great things in life. And I have a lot of fun doing that. I am a bonus mom. I'm an auntie. I am a operations excellence expert. I'm an EFT tapping guide as well. They say that the things that you say after I am are some of the most powerful things you can ever say. And so if I'm going to introduce myself and ask you guys to be vulnerable with me, then I should show you who I am, essentially. So that's who I am. I love God, I love the universe, I love spirits, I love ancestors, and I love all the things that exist within the in-between. And it's so fitting that we're under this tree. And I love outside. And I love more than anything, I connect most with visionaries and entrepreneurs and thought leaders. And in this space, I am connecting with the visionary inside of you. The woman, to me, is the most visionary that visionary can get. We literally create universes and realities of our own just through our existence. Then if you choose childbirth or if you don't, right, you're still creating a reality that literally shapes the outcome for all mankind. And so you are a visionary in being here. And that's the space that I seek to create with you. For you to remember that you are magic just in your existence. It doesn't matter what titles you have, who you are responsible for, how you show up or what you do, but this is how you exist in the world. Just as being, you create the vision. So in today's session, I'm going to talk at you for a little bit, tell my story, and I'm going to explain a lot of things to you. And we're going to have a good time. And I'm going to leave you guys with a strategy and a plan for how you can keep the vision going in your own lives. We're going to do some tapping. I have some cards that pulled some messages for me, for you all, for what we're going to tap on. Anyone ever done EFT tapping before? Got it. It probably won't look anything like whatever you've done before, just be fair, but it'll still be great. And so to center the room and the space, if you feel good and safe to do so, please close your eyes. I am going to say a prayer. It is not a prayer of denomination, right? I am not speaking to anyone specific. It is not religion-based. It is to center and calm the spirit, to get you to focus in the here and the now. And come on in, y'all, before we say this prayer. Okay. And if you feel called to do so, you can put your hands up in the receiving mode so that you receive and get exactly what you came here for and then some. Sit wherever you feel comfortable, wherever you feel seen. Okay. Mother, Father, God, I want to thank you for allowing us to exist in the same space and time. I want to thank you for collapsing time and space and reality so that we can all come to this one place. I want to thank you for the vision through Rhiannon that we all share, that we're here to release, shift, change, and to go into our lives reigning in all of our power and reigning in all of our identities. To all the ancestors and spirit guides gathered here, we invite you and we say welcome. I ask that you allow me to hear you, allow me to interpret on behalf of all souls gathered here, and allow us to shift and to release. Allow the understanding to be clear. Allow it to resonate in the hearts and the minds of these women, these beautiful visionaries that sit before me, and allow it to be easy and joyful and freeing and releasing. Allow it to be all that and more. And to my own ancestors and spirit guides, I ask you to remove my ego so I can stand present in the work that you sent me here to do. Let this be the roadmap. Let it be the strategy. Let it be the strategic advantage, and let it be that much more. This we pray for every soul that we are destined to come across, including our own. And with that, we say amen, ashe, or so it is. Okay, so my story. When I was 16, I died, and I came back in the same night. I was shot by a stranger, someone I didn't know, doing 16-year-old things in the middle of the night at a party. And as you look at me now, at one point in my life, I was laying on the ground, bleeding out. And as I lay on the ground, bleeding out, I started to transition. And from the perspective of those who were around me, I did transition. I stopped breathing. I stopped responding. There was no more seemingly life, right? And as I'm in this space in the in-between, I'm walking down a path with my grandmother who had been dead since I was 6 years old. And we're walking and we're talking and we're having a good time and we're enjoying all the things. And I say, I think I might want to go back. And she looks at me and she says, okay, are you sure? And I say, yeah, I am. I feel like something isn't done yet. And I wake up, maybe about 10 minutes later, the ambulance comes, they, take me away and put me and we go to the hospital. Fast forward to the year when I'm 23 years old. I'm just newly married, so excited to be here. Had a wedding that triggered everything out of me, right? I cried every day of the week. I was in college at the same time, getting 2 bachelor's degrees, newly married, living in my parents' house, and every day that I woke up, I cried. Didn't know why, didn't know how, didn't know what was going on. And so one day, instead of going to class, I went to the student health to see a therapist. And that was the day that I found out that I was actually diagnosed with PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. I am from a Caribbean family, Jamaican and Guyanese. They didn't even know that this was a thing that could happen outside of people existing in war, right? When I was 16, I quickly rebounded so I could go back to school, be with my friends, all the things. And in doing that, I missed that something about me had changed, right? I had not only seen this other side of reality that I didn't really know existed, but I had picked up a way of existing in life just to get me through. And from 16 to 23, it did just that. It got me through. It just enough until every other thing went wrong and then my world collapsed. And so I'm diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder. I'm the youngest of my siblings, and this is my experience, right? And for 2 years, I sat in therapy and I was like, I'm gonna do the things. I'm gonna get unafraid. I didn't leave my house for a year. I was terrified to go outside, terrified to see anyone that wasn't someone that I could feel safe around and trust. And then one day I woke up and I was like, this isn't working. The things that my therapist had described to me, the things that she prescribed to me to do, they worked in theory, but they didn't work in practice because every day I still felt afraid. I was still deeply afraid, deeply uncomfortable, and I didn't have my operating system together. And so 2 years in, I decided to quit. I was like, I'm gonna quit therapy and I'm gonna lean into this thing that I remember experiencing when I was 16. This other side, these spirits, these ancestors, what is this? I want to know more. And it's through that practice, right, of sitting with my ancestors. For me, it was dance. I danced with them every day, said my prayers, did my things, talked to whoever I need to talk to, read my Bible at the time because I am rooted in Christianity, though I am a spiritualist, right? And I figured out that life gets easier, right? That if you could figure out the recipe and the strategy to being who you are in this lifetime, that life is easy. And it's actually meant to be that way, right? And so on the flip side, right, in those 2 degrees I was telling you guys I was getting, I'm an operations excellence expert. Operations excellence is different from operations, that's more day to day. Operations excellence is essentially efficiency practices, right? How do you make sure that the mission, the values, the purpose of this entity, this business entity existing, how do you make sure that it's happening in such a way that's so seamless that we're executing on all cylinders and then we're growing, we're scaling that essentially for language, right? So you combine this with the spiritual aspects of who I am, and you have who you see here before you. And so my company's name is called Your Other Mind because when I decided to leave therapy, I discovered that we all have one, another mind. We all have one. It's the things that have been the common denominator in my life that has led to all of my successes, is that even though I'm afraid, even though I'm sad, even though I am hurt, depressed, anxious, whatever, it is through the power of naming that emotion, allowing myself to see it, see myself as whole, that my greatest strategy unfolds. I'm going to say that again. It is through naming the things that scare me, naming the things that I feel that culture has told me not to feel, never to say, that I find my greatest strategy. It is my strategic advantage. So, who you are in this lifetime is going to look very different from who I am. And as you build the lives that you have here, I want you to think about all those things that you may have left to the wayside, all those things that seem like random ideas and like random recollections of different things you wanted to try but you didn't try. And then I want you to think about those emotions, the things that we never name because we're women, right? We have to be strong for everybody. We can't name how we feel because we're in male-dominated spaces. And so because of that, we have learned that these things that we feel that are complex and large are not okay to say. And then when you're successful, like all of you here, I call my most successful people escape artists, right? We build our worlds to heal that which hurt us. We build these companies and these careers to overcome, right? Because we were hurt. And that works. It worked for me up until a certain point. And then I had to learn to trust myself enough to do it different. That it all didn't have to come from pain, even if pain and emotion and all these other things that I didn't understand were a part of the situation. That if I could just expose myself to the emotion by naming it, giving myself a voice, that I would find my roadmap forward. And that is what I have to offer you. So in today's session, as much as the story is storying, right? This is an experience of what is my greatest strategy. Okay? So, like I said, in this lifetime, I am rooted in Christianity. I pray a lot. I dance a lot. I have the things. My strategy, my spirituality, my essence of me being me, my soul comes alive through a large list of things, right? That might feel like it's too much for you. But the key is to find what it is for you. So when we were talking earlier today in Annie's great conversation, I was listening to you guys talk. I was like, you don't even know what's coming next. Because we're going to solve those answers. We're going to answer our question about how do I say no to the children and prioritize myself. So I tell my clients that business is easy. And I'm going to say the same thing here. Life is easy. It is. The hard part is activating your soul or your spirit, whatever you want to call it, your essence, your intuition. Doesn't matter what you believe or what language you use whatever's most comfortable. But a spirit, a soul that is activated naturally wants to pour into the world. They naturally want to give to the world. And so in your careers and your lives and your businesses, you just do that because you're activated, right? But what about those times when you're not? When life isn't lifing? When the math doesn't add up and you're burnt out or you're facing that? My question that I always ask is, what is your strategy? What is the thing that you're supposed to be doing on a regular basis to maintain yourself, to keep yourself activated? Why have you made that optional? It's my favorite question to ask everyone, and I'm going to ask you all now, and you can journal it, you can say it out loud. What interrupts joy for you?
Fear. Hallelujah. Fear.
In what way?
I find myself worrying about things that I don't even know why I'm worried about them.
Yeah.
And how I get around that is in my day-to-day practice, recognizing, wait, something's off, awareness, what is in the way, and then moving through. But it's always fear.
Anybody else? Feel free to answer in your space, because I really do want you to answer that question. What interrupts joy for you?
I think overstimulation for me personally. I see all the details of everything, and so sometimes that just automatically gets downloaded into that I have to interpret all those details into something that means something. So yeah, just the world and the fastness of everything.
I love that. Yeah.
I think I have this, like, one of those sort of thematic core wounds around that my greatest fear is squandering my chance.
I missed that. Was it?
Squandering my chance. Like, not that I'm not good enough. I am good enough and everything's in my favor, so if it doesn't work out, it must be my fault. And trying to let that go, I mean, inside of that is obviously perfectionism, right? And trying to let all that go, so like, there's the joy and the flow and the just being, and then there's the like gripping, and that interrupts the joy.
Yeah. I'm going to ask another question, so I'm just letting you guys sit with your answers. Because we're going to come back to all this, because it's going to get really fun. I hope so, for y'all anyway. Fun for me. I love doing this stuff. I love all the messages I hear, all the things I see. Like, I just love it. The other question I have for you all. What is required for you to be you? And you could journal on that, sit with it. What is actively required for you to be you? Not the modified version of you, but the you. The one when you close your eyes at night and you're like, all these dreams and all these goals and this big life. What is required for her to be her?
Space. Just space. Not just go. Yeah.
For me, it's lots of naps. I take lots of naps. I take so many. I am so good at it. I have a 15-minute nap down to a science.
Making things.
Tell me about that.
Making art. Getting something in my mind and creating it.
I love that.
It's like my core need.
I love that. Do you make time for that?
I do. Not enough though.
Yeah. Part of the other work that I do is helping people 10x or scale, whatever. Language is language, right? But a lot of times people are afraid to go the 10x. We don't know what it'll look like. We don't know how to get there. We don't want to figure it out, right? And it's scary. But if you think about your life now and how great it is, what is required for you to go 10 times that? How much more creativity would you have to have? How much more space would you have to create? For me, how much more meditation would you have to do? I require so much meditation, right? Like I'm up to like an hour in the mornings and like 30 minutes at night between tapping, meditation, all those things. But I've intimately come to know what is required to be myself. And that is required for Tanisha or Asha to be in an activated state. And so some of that work is around understanding and getting to know my energetics, my energy. And so what I teach and what I show people is that all of you, the goal of your life to be activated is to get you into energetic balance, right? Everyone knows that everything in nature emits its own frequency. And then somehow we seem to always forget about ourselves. Like, how conscious are you at paying attention to the frequency in which you put out, right? How much time do you pay attention to that? And then how much time, to again reference Annie, do you take to recall that? And then do whatever is required for all of you to vibrate in this frequency that is magnetic and exciting and excitable and joyful and easeful. And I want you to just think about that. So there's 3 components to having what I call a successful life. Success looks different for every single person, but I like to draw. Don't judge me. Awareness, energetics, and spirit. Who are you when you're uninterrupted? Who are you if you're just left to be? And who are you meant to be? Energetics. What are you literally putting out into the world on a regular basis? And awareness. What are you paying attention to? What parts of yourself do you practice noticing and knowing and tending to the most so that all of this is in harmony? Right? Do I have any questions so far? Because I'm going to keep going. Everybody's going to keep going? Okay. It's a lot to digest.
I have a tiny one.
Yeah.
What is the difference when you use the word energetics between energetics and energy?
Oh, nothing. Just the language that my tongue feels most comfortable with is energetics, because I feel like energy is an overused term and it doesn't mean anything to most people anymore. But when I say energetics, it literally is like all the pieces.
Yeah, it feels to me like there's something about like relationships between energies.
There is, and I'm about to draw that. Thank you for just, I love it.
I was going to say that energy is my fear. Like, I have fear of other people's energy, is really what it is. I definitely, like, if I'm around somebody that is angry or anything like that, that's what takes my joy away.
That comes from not understanding what your recipe is and maximizing it. You know what I mean? And a lot of people and I was about to say that, a lot of people misuse the word boundaries. They don't really understand what it means.
I know, it's hard to...
Boundaries is that piece of you where you're like, I'm going to do it anyway. If I require an hour of meditation, I'm going to do it anyway. And if you can look at it from that level of awareness and less about this person trying to, come in on my boundaries. No, I'm just going to do what's required from me anyway.
Totally.
It changes, again, the energetic frequency of how you go about the thing.
The hard part, though, is the moment it happens. Like, in the moment, you're like, oh, my boundary, where is it? I don't, that's like a shutdown for me. So I definitely have been really working on that a lot. But at the same time, it's trying to figure out what that means as far as boundaries. Yes, I do understand like the meditation and all that, but and out of the moment, but in the moment.
I have a thought for that. There's something happening in here. I'm gonna come back to that.
Okay, great.
I didn't forget you. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys a thing. And then we're gonna do an exercise. Okay. All right. So, Samara asked a question about energetics. When I'm talking about energetics, this is what I'm talking about. Everyone can see? There's a you. There's like your birth data, who you were when you came into this space. There are your limitations, your fears, your anxieties, whatever you want to call that. There's your dreams, your aspirations, and then there's your lived experiences. And then there's you. Oh, higher self is up here. Shout out to the higher selves, right? Okay. All of you vibrates differently. The most natural parts of you, most neutral parts of you will vibrate like a wave. Joy, ease, when people talk about ride the wave, the frequency of it, one of my gifts, I can see energy currents, so just go with me on this. I haven't studied it, but just go with me. Energy and joy looks like a wave. So when everyone's talking to you, like, oh, just ride the wave, and it feels so good, we're like, yeah, I like that, right? Fears, limitations, they look like all that, that's what that looks like. Higher self you, a pretty little wave up here. Oh, lived experiences. Oh, it's a mixed bag. And a wave. Oh, but a lot of this and another wave, right? And then your dreams, aspirations, and desires have its own. Your work in life is to get most of you to vibrate like a wave. And how do you do that? That's the naming of those fears. That's the unpacking of those life experiences that have changed you, right? But then it's also the getting clear on who you are. So some of the tools that I use for people and I recommend to start with like, oh my God, who am I? Am I really amazing? Yes, you are. Numerology is a great tool. Human design is my other favorite tool, right? Who were you? How were you created to be? How does what you've lived intersect with the work that you do? And really start to give yourself permission to not quiet those thoughts. Like a lot of times we like to gaslight ourselves and say, oh yeah, I'm not really that person. You know, I was here to be a speaker, but I don't speak yet. Were you here to be a speaker or it doesn't matter. You were here to be a speaker. Go with that. Follow that and see where it takes you, right? And so what we're gonna do today is create a roadmap for all of you going forward as to whatever that next thing is for you, how you can go about getting it. So that when the fear seeps in, or the sadness, or the anxiety, or you're having trouble choosing yourself, you have to figure out the strategic advantage to do it anyway. You have to build in the support system to do it anyway. And you have to build a relationship with your emotions so well that you allow them to point to you and you believe what is next for you. So when you're sad, what would you do if you weren't sad? Right? Well, I would do this thing. Great. What would it work? What would you need to feel safe in doing it while you're still sad? And then how do you ritualize care for yourself that elevates everything that you do? And so that the impossible becomes possible, so that your time expands, the kids, the husband, the whatever doesn't get in the way because you've built in the fail-safe to that. Does that make sense? Any questions? Okay, how's everyone feeling? Good? Okay. Has anyone ever done a higher self meditation before or a visualization? Okay. We're going to do a group one. And then we'll go into the worksheets and stuff. Because my goal is to have you guys some strategic badass women doing some amazing shit when you leave here. Right? So yeah, if you feel good and safe to do so, please close your eyes. And my eyes will be open. I'll be guiding you guys. You ladies, you visionaries. Okay. And I just want to put in reminders. Everything that you see, people are like to be like, oh, I meditated and I didn't see the things that they said to see. Whatever you see is correct. Whatever you hear is also correct. My voice is only a guide to help you get there. Okay? All right, if you feel good and safe to do so, everyone take a deep breath through their nose. Hold that breath at the top. Just suspend it for a while. And a deep exhale. All right. Allow your body to breathe as it would like to breathe. Release control over the breath. And just submit to the rhythm that your body wants to take. And just breathe. And as you breathe, connect deeper to that breath, letting it nourish all parts of you, not rushing it, not slowing it down. Just allow your body to take what it needs. And just breathe. And on the count of 3, and at the sound of my voice, we're going to go on a journey. 1, 2, 3. Allow yourself to see yourself exactly as you are now, wearing exactly what you have on right now. Allow yourself to see yourself in your mind's eye in the safest place that you know, It may feel familiar. It may be somewhere completely new. And just breathe. Connect to that breath. Look up, look down, look around the space that you're in. See yourself. And just allow your body to breathe. And just off ahead of you in the distance, I want you to allow yourself to see a column of light. Allow yourself to see that now. A beautiful, bright light just ahead of you. And I want you to walk over to that light and stand right in front of it. And just breathe. Not rushing your body, not rushing the experience. Just breathe. And on the count of 3, at the sound of my voice, a spirit being is going to reveal themselves to you in this column of light. Allow yourself to feel that excitement, that joy, the anticipation, and just breathe. 1, 2, 3. Allow yourself to see them now. Allow them to materialize in front of you, revealing themselves to you as they are, as you are. And as that being comes into view, I want you to reach out your right hand in your mind's eye and place your hand on their heart space. And they're going to reach up and put their hand on your heart space. And I want you to allow yourself to feel this sensation into your palm of this beautiful being that is here for you, to help you, to guide you, who may look like you. They may look like someone you know. Allow yourself to feel the tingles and the sensation of their power that they're sharing with you. Feel it in your chest, spread through your body. Feel it through your palm, on their heart, filling you up. And just breathe. Connecting. Look them in their eyes. See them now. What are they wearing? See that now. This being is your higher self, here to guide you, support you. And in your mind's eye, I want you to ask in your head, what is your name? And allow them to answer you. Whether you hear letters or you hear a full name, allow yourself to experience them now. And just breathe. And everyone take a deep breath in and push that air out. Exhale. Trust yourself. You called in this moment. Allow yourself to feel it. Allow yourself to connect with the unknown that is you. And just breathe. Feel that power and that connection. And honor this being in front of you. We're going to ask them one more question before we come out. In your mind's eye, I want you to ask them, how have I been getting in my own way? And just breathe. And just breathe. Allow yourself to be in the moment. And allow yourself to be present. And just ask them. And allow the answers to come. What do I need to shift and release that has been blocking me? And allow that to come. And when you are ready, I want you to give that being a beautiful hug, an embrace, a kiss, and say thank you. And you can join me in this space when you're ready, opening your eyes and returning to center. You did so great. Open your eyes and see what's real. Open your eyes and see what's real. Look me in my eyes. You're here. You did great. I'm gonna get you some tissue, okay? Okay. Woo. Here you go, my love. Anyone else need tissue? Oof. Whatever name you got, or whatever letters you may have heard, use that name often, okay? That is your big you. When Annie was talking to us about our ancestor selves, our future selves, this is the you that is here to support you. My higher self, she goes by the name Empress. She's so funny. And every time that I need me, every time that I need to get out of my own way, that is who I call. And I feel like it's important to know the name, so that when you call on that energy, you're calling from the purest parts of you, right? Anybody else do you need tissue? Okay. Because we're gonna do a tapping session next. And we're gonna release a lot of these things that have come up. It is an honor to witness all of you. And it is an honor to be trusted by all of you. And I thank you for creating this reality for yourselves and this moment for yourself and calling me in as your guide. I see all of you, which is also why for the first night I wasn't trying to make a whole lot of eye contact with a lot of people because it's a lot. And I can see all of you and I can feel all of you. And yes, there is someone capable of holding you just like you hold everyone else. Okay. So, before you all came out here, I asked, as I shuffled my oracle deck, and I was like, what do we need to release to allow ourselves to be fruitful and multiply? And I got soul forgiveness. A lot of people holding a lot of grudges against themselves in this space. And I've noticed it from the time everyone arrived. A lot of people really frustrated and angry at themselves. And then the other thing that we're going to release and create is feeling safe. It is safe to be seen, it is safe to be witnessed, and it is safe to want more. It is absolutely fucking safe to want a whole lot fucking more. For no justification, no other reason than the fact that the desire exists within inside of you. It is safe, it is expected. And when a soul is activated, they want to conquer the earth. And you get to, just for existing. Okay. So we're going to tap to release the things that we are holding against ourselves and to call in, I can just want more. Just because it's Tuesday. I can want more time and space just because. You know? Okay. So tapping looks like this. I'm going to say a phrase and you're going to repeat after me. I'm going to allow room for you all to repeat after me, okay? We're going to set it up on the side. You do a side tapping first. You do that 3 times to create the setup statement. And then we'll go through a series of negative tapping where, again, a negative emotion is going to be the leader of this conversation. We're going to tap through from the head, if you've never done it before, to the eyebrow, to the side of the eye, to under the eye, under the nose, the chin, the collarbone, and under the arm, right there at the brow line. We're gonna tap through that through a series, saying the negative things. And then after a while, once they're done and we're like, oh, we're good, we're gonna tap in the positive things, that feeling safe energy that everyone needs to go forward and like conquer shit, okay? Here's how tapping works, energy. I cannot wait for y'all to hear Layla continue this conversation on energy. It's going to be amazing. Okay. Energy. I am here to get you in the right energy to receive everything else that she has for you tomorrow and Annie has for you the rest of the days. Okay? But before you can do that, you have to be a blank canvas. And what happens is with life impacting events, you know, we talked about that energy, right? It's me, my spirit, I'm all wavy. And then life happens, and now I get kind of jank. It gets kind of, like, oh. And then there's some waves in there, and you know? And what that does is the things that impact you in life, they change your cellular structure. And they literally, so again, your cells, they put out an energy. So your cells are vibrating to the universe, pain, trauma, sadness, and whatever else is in there. And so the universe is meeting you with this cellular structure vibrating this thing that's not true. And so we use tapping to clear that up. And so in your body, you have meridian lines that go from like head to toe. And we're going to release those blocks that are blocking you from just being in the wave, who you are, right? And we're going to release those things. So you may get emotional, and it's totally fine. You're safe. You may get whatever. Just let it out, right? It's been a long time for most of y'all. Okay. All right. Side of the hand.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yeah.
Sometimes when I tap in different areas, I feel resistance. What's advice on that? Like, I don't want to tap under here. It's really interesting.
That might, so for you, it's probably a little bit different because you are also gifted in the same way that I am. So sometimes I'll tap on another place like my heart chakra or wherever I feel it. So for you, because you've been doing this a long time too, I would just go to the place that it's telling you to go to instead. Okay. Okay, here we go. Even though I've been really hard on myself and I haven't forgiven myself, I choose to love, honor, and accept myself anyway. Even though I haven't forgiven myself for the mistakes I've made and I'm holding a grudge, I choose to love, honor, and accept myself anyway. Even though I've been hiding my resentment against myself through amazing acts in the world, I still choose to love, honor, and accept myself now. Top of the head. All this emotion that I've been hiding from myself. Eyebrow. I am angry. And I've been judging myself and my journey. Side of the eye. I'm not that kind to myself. I get in my way constantly. And I stop myself from having more. Under the eye. And I can't continue to go like this. I feel anxious under the nose and worried, the chin, and doubtful at my own personal power because I've been holding a grudge. Collarbone. I've been angry with myself for so long, and it's not sustainable. I've been judgmental of myself for so long, and that's not sustainable. Why couldn't I do more? Why can't I work harder? Why do I have to carry everything? Under the arm. And I choose to love, honor, and accept myself anyway. Top of the head. This has been a frustrating experience for me. I've made amazing things happen, and I can't get this together. Eyebrow. And so I judge myself And I criticize myself mercilessly. Side of the eye. Everyone else can make mistakes besides me. And I hold that against myself. Under the eye. I just want everything to be perfect. Is that too much to ask for? Under the nose. And so I openly criticize and back myself into a corner. Chin. And it doesn't feel good. And it feels limiting. But I don't know how to exit this space. Collarbone. I've learned that when things go wrong, it's my fault. I've learned to protect myself at all costs. I can't let anyone see the truth, including myself, even if it is true. And that causes me lots of pain, lots of doubt, and I sometimes feel unsure. Under the arm. And I choose to love and honor myself now. Top of the head. All this emotion, all this conflicting thoughts, I don't know what to do with them. Eyebrow. So I do nothing. And I hide in plain sight. Side of the eye. I manage the things that I can. And I manage them well. Even if they cause me burnout. Under the eye. I have been committed to not let anyone see me or my mistakes. Under the nose. I don't know what it would be like to forgive myself. Chin. I don't even know where to start. And if I don't know where to start, and I don't know what to fix, what am I left to do? Collarbone. But I am curious about it. I'm curious about what could be possible for me if I let go of being perfect. I don't know what it will be like to forgive myself and clean the slate, but I'm willing to try. Under the arm. And I release the need to hide. Top of the head. It is safe to be emotional. And it is safe to be in alignment with my power. Eyebrow. It is safe to let go and allow myself to fill in the gaps. Side of the eye. It is safe to create safety for and within myself. Under the eye. I know what I would rather choose. And I'm open to trying to choose it. Under the nose. And I allow my body to relax now. Chin. I allow my mind to relax now. I allow my mind to expand its capacity to receive. Collarbone. I am safe to be safe. I am safe to forgive myself. And I am safe to move forward in big ways. Under the arm. And I love, I honor, and I accept all of me, including my truth, now. Everyone take a deep breath in. Exhale out. Ooh. Okay. I'm gonna, okay. As everyone collects themselves, I do have handouts for you, and they're exercises. You don't have to do them because I don't have the time to go through them with you in the way that I would like to. But I am around, And if you want to go through them together, if you want to figure out your strategy, if you want my insights and all the people that walk with you with insights, anytime throughout here, I'm happy to do this work with you. I'll make sure that I say that first, get that out the way. Okay. Does anyone want to share? You don't